Hey, this is Zeklog the Great. The One Black Stain by Robert E. Howard. They carried him out on the barren sand where the rebel captains died, where the grim, gray, rotting gibbets stand as Magellan reared them on the strand, and the gulls that haunt the lonesome land wail to the lonely tide. Drake faced them all like a lion at bay, with his lion head upflung. Dare ye my word of law defy, to say this traitor shall not die? And his captains dared not meet his eye, but each man held his tongue. Solomon Kane stood forth alone, grim man of somber race. Worthy of death he may well be, but the trial he held was a mockery. Ye hid your spite in a travesty where justice hid her face. More of the man had ye been on deck your sword to cleanly draw in forthright fury from its sheath, and openly cleave him to the teeth, rather than slink and hide beneath the hollow word of law. Hell rose in the eyes of Francis Drake. Puritan knave, swore he. Headsman, give him the axe instead. He shall strike off yon traitor's head. Solomon folded his arms and said, darkly and somberly, I am no slave for your butcher's work. Bind him with triple strands, Drake roared, and the men obeyed, hesitantly, as if afraid, but Cain moved not as they took his blade and pinioned his iron hands. They bent the doomed man over to his knees, the man who was to die. They saw his lips in a strange smile bend. One last long look they saw him send at Drake, his judge, and his one-time friend who dared not meet his eye. The axe flashed silver in the sun, a red arch slashed the sand. A voice cried out as the head fell clear, and the watchers flinched in sudden fear, though 'twas but a sea-bird wheeling near, above the lonely strand. This be every traitor's end, cried Drake, and yet again. Slowly, the captains turned and went, and the admiral's stare was elsewhere bent than where the cold scorn with anger blent in the eyes of Solomon Kane. Night fell on the crawling waves. The admiral's door was closed. Solomon lay in the stenching hold, his irons clashed as the ship rolled, and the guard, grown weary and overbold, laid down his pipe and dozed. He woke with a hand at his corded throat that gripped him like a vice. Trembling, he yielded up the key, and the somber Puritan stood free, his cold eyes gleaming murderously with the wrath that is slow to rise. Unseen to the admiral's door went Solomon Kane from the guard. Through the night and silence of the ship, the guard's keen dagger in his grip, no man of the dull crew saw him slip through the door unbarred. Drake at the table sat alone, his face sunk in his hands. He looked up as from sleeping, but his eyes were blank with weeping, as if he saw not creeping death's swiftly flowing sands. He reached no hand for gun or blade to halt the hand of Cain, nor even seemed to hear or see, lost in black mists of memory. Love turned to hate and treachery and to bitter, cankering pain. A moment Solomon Kane stood there, the dagger poised before, as a condor stoops above a bird, and Francis Drake spoke not, nor stirred. And Kane went forth without a word, and closed the cabin door.